is going on YouTube? So, we're making a YouTube channel. I've had a lot of people ask me about if I want to do a YouTube channel, if I start a YouTube channel. And to be honest with you, I just didn't really have the time to do a YouTube channel. So Lindsay is going to run the YouTube channel, get some video. We're gonna give it a shot here in 2023, see how it goes, see if it picks up some traction. If it does, we'll keep following the car. If it doesn't, we'll just go from there. But so we're gonna film 2023's race season. Just got done with Dig or Die. First time there, and it was pretty awesome. Got to see a lot of cool cars, a lot of fast cars, and it was the first time me being on that surface down there with the Honda. And the Honda liked it a lot. I'm used to running on crappy surfaces, and honestly that's where the Honda does its best, is on a crappy surface. It doesn't make a ton of torque, so I'm able to apply a good bit of power and get off the line and bring it on up top. So it does really well. But just to recap for Dig or Die, we made it to the top 5 before there was an oil down the track and they had to shut the race down. We got rained out Saturday, so we didn't race at all Saturday. So we ended up staying Sunday and racing. But all in all, it was a good time. We came back with some money in our pocket and made it the top 5 and some of the fastest street guys out there. We had guys up there from Canada. All the North Carolina local guys were there. So it was a good time. So basically this channel is gonna be about the S2000. A little bit of racing. Well, it's gonna be a lot of racing, but there's gonna be a little bit of background on what I do too. Probably a lot of airport, Berkeley Springs racing, but this year we're gonna try to get out a lot more to some of the other tracks and some of the other good spots. So it's just gonna be a channel all about following it. So let me go over a little bit about the car a little bit. All right, so we'll go over a little bit about the car. So it's a Honda S2000. It's still, factory firewall, factory suspension location. It's just got IDS coilovers on it and some welds. Interior, it's full interior. I mean, it even has a factory cluster. Everything works in the cluster. It's still got all of its electronics, locks, power side mirrors, factory leather top, leather seats. So it's a full street car. I just didn't want to gut it up. It's just a real clean car. Didn't really want to gut it all up. So and it's pretty much factory body. Under the hood, it's still an F series. Started off as an F20, and then I turned it into a F24. So it's built bottom in. All my machine work gets done by Jeremy Allen. I do all the assembly, and it's a 2.4 now. Tron pistons, inline pro rods, and it has this Jeremy Allen top end, valve train and valves and all that good stuff. It's got a Jason Schmuck turbo kit. Guys, check out Jason Schmuck. He builds a lot of turbo kits, does a lot of fabrication work. I've had this manifold probably 5 years, and I've never had a problem with it. Plus, Jason lives about 30 minutes down the road, so it's pretty nice. Gen 2 7275 right now, but we're about to swap that out for something up a little spicier. 4 radiator, alternator. I drive this everywhere I can. Front mount air cooler, still air to air to cool. And it's just a fun little street car. It's nothing too crazy about it. Just a lot of testing, a lot of tuning. I tune the car myself. I also remote tune customers as well. But it just takes a lot of time. You just can't jump in a car that's not dialed in and expect it to work well. This took me a whole year to really get dialed in and get it down some of these streets and some of these back tracks and stuff. So good running car. So today we're going to, for our first video on YouTube, we're gonna do a little maintenance first. So After racing, I do like to check certain things. So we'll do a video today on what I go through on the car. And then we're gonna get that turbo off and stick on our new turbo. All right, so I'll go over like a normal maintenance after a race. So of course, you know, you guys gotta check all your fluids, check transmission fluids, check your oil, make sure everything's looking good, make sure transmission isn't, you know, smelling burnt or anything like that. Everything looks good right now. You know, go over all your hoses, all your clamps. Good maintenance is gonna, you know, win you races and keep a good running car. So you just gotta go over your stuff. You just can't go racing, throw it in the trailer, and you know, things gonna work great next time you go out. So I'm a big maintenance guy. I love going over the car, making sure everything's good. I actually did find something already. So something we're gonna have to fix. So one does not look like the other. If you're looking at my studs, notice this guy. It's looking a little long. That's bad. So what's going on there is these studs are pulling out of the head. Apparently it's kind of common. I have a couple buddies that said it happened to them as well. And I already pulled out this one at the beginning of the year. And I'm not sure if this one, I know I had two. I had this one and another one, and I'm really hoping it's not this one. But I put inserts in there, blind inserts. So I hope I don't have to pull the head. I really didn't want to pull the head this year. I typically, you know, go over the whole car, pull the motor, go over the whole engine, but you know, motor's running really good right now, so I don't think I'm gonna pull it. So I might just drop the oil pan and check rod bearings, make sure the rod bearings and everything look good. But we're gonna try to fix that stud in the car, which I did on the other ones. It's kind of a bear, but you can do it. So we're gonna do that, but it's kind of down the list right now. First on the list is getting this new turbo on, finding out what kind of space I need to create for this new turbo, and then get it to Keith's pit stop so he can make me up an exhaust. What I wanna do is I wanna keep my exhaust going out and under the car. So as you can see, it's quite tight through there. And the new turbo has a 4-inch exhaust. So I gotta run it through here and then run it down out there through the bottom. So there's my wide band coming out. So we'll see if Keith can hook that up for me. I hope he can. I got faith in him. If anything, we might have to cut the center cross section out to get that 4-inch by, but I think we'll get it. So let's get to it. Let's get this turbo off. She's off. There she is. Exhaust. So now we gotta take this guy off because the guy we're putting on there is way too fat and it's not gonna go there. This is what we're dealing with. Size difference. 75, 84. Still T4, but she's birthy. So we gotta make some room. Here we got our two turbos that we're gonna swap. This guy ran all year. He's in real good shape. A couple little dings here and there, but nothing crazy. And this is a new girl we're gonna run. Man, she's big. She's the old one. She's big. Here we have our two housings put together. So this is the H cover. This is your Sportsman. So this is the next step up. Quite a bit of difference. I'm gonna have to cut this off. This is obviously used on a different car. And might have to add a little bit here to the bottom. Might be able to cut it off here maybe and add like a weld lip but I'll let Keith figure out what he wants to do there, but that's our difference. We're going from a 4-inch inlet to a 5-inch. All right, so we got the fan off. So I needed to make some room for the new turbo. So now we're gonna have the one fan. And now I'm trying to debate if I want to cover that up or leave it open, the big hole. It'd be easy to just make a piece of sheet metal and cover it up. That way it draws better through the shroud, but we might leave it open and just see how the car runs. But I think the car never runs hot ever, so I think it'll be fine. And it gives us our room for our new compressor there. So we'll go ahead and start putting this turbo on and see what type of room we got. All right, so we polished this up with a wire wheel. Worked pretty good, some WD-40. And we also hit this real good, so it looks nice now. So let's see if it goes on. So we got the big girl in there, and she's big. She's just mocked up right now, of course, no plumbing, but it's sitting good. And I was a little worried if the hood was going to even close, but the hood closes and everything's good. So here we got. That's what we're dealing with now, boys and girls. She's a big one. Can't wait to test this out. This should give me lots of reserve power. And I'm not going to be stringing its neck like I was the 72 mil. Just so you guys know, this is an 86, 84 Gen 2 big shaft, not the 85. So it's a big girl, a little bit bigger than what I wanted on the inlet size. I was going to kind of stick with 76 or an 80. But I really needed a bigger back half. I needed an 80 or an 85. This is an 84. It's supposed to be one hell of a turbo as long as I can get it to spool up, which I don't think we'll have any issues with. We'll have the front bumper off. I'll show you guys the beautiful front intercooler. Another piece of artwork from Jason. Really nice front mount. I think it's good for like 1,500, he said. But anyways, so just a little bit more about the car. So I told you guys a little bit about the motor. It is a Power Glide auto. So it's got a it's an FTI transmission, but it was reworked by my buddy Josh. He is out in Washington with Ross Performance. Big performance guy. Me and him talked a lot about when I was going to go to the Glide versus a Turbo 400. We decided on a Glide, which I'm glad we did. And it's worked awesome. It was a stick car for quite a long time. And as anybody races stick class, they know that stick cars can be a bear. And I was just kind of getting tired of working on a car. I worked on a car all the time. I was breaking clutches, breaking discs, breaking shafts, breaking transmissions. I had 2 different transmissions in it, and in order to go to the next level, I was going to have to spend a lot of money, too much money that I wanted to spend, and I decided to go auto. Auto was the best thing I ever did with a car as terms of racing aspect. I've literally put this trans in. I have not opened this trans. I've had this trans for 3.5 years, 3.5 years. Haven't had to open it at all. Had 2 different converters in it, but never had to open the trans up. I just keep fresh fluid in it, and she's rocking. So big shout out to Josh with Ross Performance for the transmission, and it has a 8.8 forward rear end in it, but it is still independent rear suspension. It just has a girdle to hold the pumpkin. Still runs on half shafts, and just like a factory S2000 does. They're drive shaft shop axles. You know what I'm saying? And it's got tiny spacers on it to fit the wheels on. But other than that, everything else is factory. It's got IDS coilovers on it, and shout out to John. So this was actually the first S2000 to have a set of IDS Viking coilovers on the front. So me and John worked together to get fitment right on the front. And once we got those front shocks on, that's when the car really started coming alive. It's always had rear IDS shocks, but the front ones made a huge difference in weight transfer and everything. So that's pretty much about the car. Again, once we get it back, we'll do some testing, and I'll have you guys out there to show you how the car does testing wise. All right, I'll catch you guys later.